Hello, my friends. It's the Toad Man to talk to you once again about MetaZoo. And today we're going to talk about selling MetaZoo. I sold MetaZoo for about a year or two, and I sold CN, CN2, Nightfall, Wilderness, and I stopped at UFO. And I sold on Whatnot. I sold just primarily on Whatnot. I sold a little bit at other places, but primarily on Whatnot. And it was good at the beginning. And a lot of people were really enthusiastic, and it was great opening packs for people and sharing all the hits and just the camaraderie. And I would do a lot of streams for charities and other stuff too. So it was really cool selling stuff. But then when it got to Wilderness, at the same time, Whatnot had changed their structure and they were allowing a lot of people into Whatnot that they didn't before. There was a very strict vetting process. You needed like $100,000 worth of product, and you needed to have like a store or something, and you had to have an LLC. And I had a lot of the credentials, so it made sense for me to be able to do that. But then they just started letting anybody in who had access to a phone, and it became hard because then at the same time Wilderness was available to people and whatnot. They had like a collaboration where they would give you as much product as you wanted at loan for as much product as you wanted, interest free, and then you just have to pay it back. Once you did a payout, you would pay back what you know the money that you made would go right to whatnot. That caused a lot of issues because everyone had it, everyone was able to get it. People were undercutting each other. People were trying to sell ridiculously high price and then couldn't do it. It just caused a lot of issues. And then at the same time, MetaZoo was putting out a lot of product at the same time, so we were actually competing with MetaZoo as a company too. They were selling off their website. They were selling different, eBay, big box, a lot of different versions of the same thing, but they they were more scarce than the ones that you had available. So it was really hard to sell. And then when UFO came out, a lot of people were kind of burnt out with MetaZoo, and then the hits weren't there like they were previously. It just was an underwhelming set, and it I lost money selling UFO. Now, I feel a lot of these same things are going to occur again when MetaZoo coming back out. You're going to have a lot of people who are getting access to it that they don't care if they make a dime off of it or if they are hurting the business aspect of it for other people, because there's people who are selling MetaZoo because they need to make rent off the money that they make as a retailer. And then other people are selling MetaZoo because they want the ability to have people talk to them. They want the attention. And then there's people who want to just they like the rip, or they're about the community and involvement. But there's so many different reasons why people want to sell, but those reasons kind of hurt the other person, because if you're not doing seriously, if you're not taking it seriously, you want to do it and work with the same market price of other people as well, or you're starting at a buck and it's 3 a.m. and there's three people in your chat and you're selling at $1 a piece, it's hurting other people who need to make that money off of it. So that being said, if you want to sell MetaZoo, I would say if you're not a legit business, if you're not somebody who's going to take it seriously, I say just don't do it. There's a million other people that are going to do it. It's hard to compete with Joe Schmo who's sitting on the couch with his both feet up on the desk with opening packs with his feet, who doesn't matter to him if he makes a buck or not. You can't compete with that guy. You're going to be drowned out by the other hundreds of thousands of people and whatnot. Now, there's other places you can sell. And there's other ways to sell. And there's different ways to do it. But do you really need to sell? Like, I don't know what a lot of people got out of it. I sold because I was selling comic books. I have over $100,000 worth of comics. Please don't rob me. I had comic books, and then I got into MetaZoo, and I started to sell MetaZoo, and I started to rip stuff, and it was pleasing to me. I loved when people get hits. I loved the community. The community was really nice to me when I was buying, so it was a way to give back. It was a way to pay for the hobby, and at the same time, I was trying to rip stuff for other people. And I'll give you an example. I sold a blue ink for $16 to Fam Bam. So yeah, so this is the type of things that I didn't that I would do is like I would run stuff for people because I would love to rip for people, and I wanted to be part of the community, and I had the Discord, and I wanted to give back, and I ran charities and stuff like that. Not everybody has the same goals, and that's cool. But if you're not taking it seriously, if you're just running it because you like the attention, I would say get into something else. It's not going to be a money making venture for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to lose money. 'Cause a lot of people are buying it. They're already undercutting themselves. It's the same thing. They have all these booster boxes, and they don't care if they make $5 a booster box. When this guy over here, who his whole entire world is selling cards to make a living, can't make up his ends meet because some other person wants to do it for fun. So that's my 2 cents there. So if you're thinking about selling MetaZoo, it's going to be really difficult to do it. Just in general, it's hard to sell in general. You got to be consistent. If you're starting out, you're going to do a lot of giveaways. You're just going to water down the product to try to get yourself in a position to be able to sell consistently and be on the top level of other people who have more capital that can run things at a higher pace. They can run things faster. That has a bigger supply, a bigger money supply, to have a bigger supply to be able to sell stuff. It's going to be hard to compete. You got to look at yourself and say, why am I doing this? What is the intent here? Am I trying to make millions off of it? It's not going to work. It's not. You're not going to do it. Am I trying to be part of the community? There's better ways. You can buy a booster box and make events and teach people how to play the game, or give away packs for free on the street. You don't need to be hurting the market by putting putting them out for a buck. Again, when you have two people on your stream, and it's just hurting somebody else who's competing against you, who's running against you, who's selling them consistently at the same rate as somebody who needs to sell it at that price to make a profit off of it. And then again, long term effects of this. If you're selling all this product for pennies and for $0, it's not going to hold up. People aren't going to be interested because a lot of people just see dollar signs. A lot of people aren't going to be wanting to invest in it if they can get whatever the chase is. If they can get it for pennies, then they're not going to consider that to be a real chase, and that's really hurt other versions of other sets that came out. Is that they sold for so cheap, and it kind of devalued the game. Um, that's another whole another topic. So I'm just saying, if you don't have a specific goal in mind while you're doing this, I wouldn't do it. Please don't be another person that's gonna just do it just for fun, to do it to undermine other people who are trying to do it as a serious thing. For myself, I'm decided to jump back in it, and I'm going to donate February and March sales, and I'll do a whole video about that. I'm going to donate all the profits I make from February and March because I don't feel good about selling a product to the people that are in my community. Does that make sense? Why would, if you're saying that these people are your family, this is your community, why would you sell something to them for a higher price than you got it yourself? You know what I mean? Like, do I go to grandma and be like, "Hey, grandma, I know that you really like these crumb cookies, whatever. I got you this pack of crumb cookies because I know you like them so much. Here, I bought them for $4. I'm going to sell it to you for 8." That's not how the community works, right? So work with the community here. I want to sell it so I can give back to the community. I'm taking that money and giving back to the community. I'm not going to do it to make a profit. I'm not going to do it to undercut somebody else that's trying to do it for a profit. I'm certainly not going to do it because I want the attention. Because if I wanted to do the attention route, I would have I would have done something entirely different. I'd be streaking down the block if I wanted attention. I'd be doing something crazy to get on the news. I'd be partying in Philly today for the parade and doing something crazy if I wanted attention. I don't need the attention. You don't need the attention with something like that. Do something positive. Do something that consider your marginal value. The amount of time that you're putting into a stream to make 20 bucks. You're on the stream for 4 hours to make 20 bucks. You've lost money because you're not valuing your time. That's what I'm just saying here. Like, there's a lot of people that are just gonna want to get in here. People who sold MetaZoo before and haven't spoke the word MetaZoo until they re-debuted. They've been gone a year. They came back. They want to resell it again because they see this. Please, you don't. We don't need more people in the hobby like that. That's all I'm saying. I went on the rant, and I appreciate y'all watching. Again, I'm gonna do a charity drive. I'll put another video out first thing tomorrow morning. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.